Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial of Colors Tech. In this tutorial, we are learning a simple Power BI project here, and in this project, we will try to analyze the live IPL cricket data, the match that is currently going on. It is currently going on, which I can show you. So if you will go to just type IPL on Google, you will see that currently RCB versus SRH is going on, and here we will try to connect the live data here. So we have this QuickBuzz API from Rapid API. So the process is very simple. It has been explained in one of our previous videos also, which you can see. So you just have to go to pricing and subscribe to the free model, which will give you 100 hits per day, and from here you will get your API key. Now there are different endpoints here. The data that you will get is in JSON format. So there are different endpoints here like matches list, get info, and so on. So we first have to get the information of matches, and you can see here recent is written. So instead of recent, we have to get the live data. Okay, so we'll copy this code. Now here is the trick. In order to read the data into Power BI directly, you have to use this code. Okay, and how to use this code, I'm just going to let you know. So just copy all of this code, and I will provide you this code and explain this code to you. This is the API URL. In this API you have to send some headers with your API key and host. Then you have to get API data and let response is equal to web content URL headers, and then you have to pass the JSON response into table. This is something that we'll explain later, understand later. The main part is to read the data in Power BI, and to read it, just go to transform data or open Power Query editor. So we have the Power Query editor here, and click on new source and blank query. Now right click here and create advanced editor. Here in advanced editor you will see let source in source. So we have let source in source, and here in let and in you just have to print the API data which you will get from get API data, API URL and headers. So this is the method to get API data. API URL is this URL and headers is this headers. Okay, and then get API data is the function which has been written here. So now your data is fetched here, and we will name it as, you can call it a base API live match. Okay, let's call it live match, base API live match. And here you have a list and some records. So if you will click on list, you will see you have these records. So there may be 3 matches which are live. It means this. Now you don't have to click on record for as of now. Just click on convert to table. Okay, just select or enter delimiter as none, show as errors none, and click OK. Now you have your record here. Okay, in view, we can open column profile, we can open query setting. This is something that we want, query settings, so that we want to see what is happening here. Now when you see an icon like this, right, it means you can expand this. So expand this, click load more. Here you have match type and series matches. These are the columns, and use original column name as prefix and click go. Okay, so now you have match type, international league and women, and you have column 1 series matches. Now since we are trying to analyze the IPL live match, and we know that IPL is a league, right? So IPL is a league. Now what we will do is here we can apply a simple filter, league. So we'll see only one match that is live, right? Let's expand to new rows. Here you have league and record. Then you will have series, add wrapper, click OK. Then you have another record here. Obviously this is something that you have to do until you get the series ID and the match ID. This is what you have to get. So you can see this is series ID of IPL in this API 7607. You can write it somewhere, but you can remember. So this is league, this is match ID, and you have this data. Now again you have to get more data like match ID, teams and all. So just right click or just click here and expand to new values. Again you have record, then you have match info and match score. Just expand this. I know you have to do it multiple times, and now you have all the columns, match ID, series ID and everything. Okay, so now you will see in progress, Royal Challengers Bengaluru up to bat, record. Here is another record. These are some records that we have to get from match info, but we have these IDs, right? Time, in progress, true, record. So wherever record is written, these are the things that you have to expand, right? So you just have to look for this icon. If you are familiar with Python, you can do this with Python also, and then feed the data to Power BI. So we have a series of videos there which you can see. So now let's expand this, okay, and similarly expand this. Wherever we have a record, we'll select these columns and add to our data. Later you can remove unwanted columns like city, time zone. So we don't want latitude, time zone we want, ground and city we want. It is Rajiv Gandhi Stadium and city is Hyderabad, and we have these values. We have finally one record, team one score, again a record, innings one, again a record, runs, wickets, overs. Okay, so we have this data. Now we have this data, column 1 matches, column 2, right, current score. So we can rename it, we can rename our you know uh, values. Just give me a minute. So we'll do that later. Now we have the data, okay, and let's close and apply. We'll apply the changes and we have all the columns here. Obviously the names are very hard to read. This is matches, match info, current batting team ID. Okay, so I'll just rename it because we have to do it again also. Current bat team ID. This is the series name. So I'll just pause this video and rename them. Obviously there is a better way of doing this, but I am just doing it here because I have to analyze the the live data, series ID. So as you can see, I have renamed most of the columns here, and now we will try to create some visualizations to actually analyze the data. So let's create, let's add a card here, and in the card we will try to put first of all team name. So let's put team 2 name. This is Sunrisers Hyderabad. So the team 2 name. Then let's put another card here. We have team 1 name here, and we'll put team 1 name here. This is Royal Challengers Bengaluru. So a match is going on between the team 1 and team 2, and let's say city. So again a card, and we can also try to put city in some kind of map. Let's try to put, so venue city. So here you can see currently it is being held at Hyderabad, and ground. So obviously ground is also something that we can show here. Let's try to see Rajiv Gandhi International Ground. Menu ground is a color, city is a location. So actually for ground we have to create a point, which we will do later. So now we have ground here, and let's try to get the score. Team 1 is score innings 1. So we will put here another card, and team 1 is score innings 1 3, 10 overs, overs 12.5. I'm sure this is not the score. Let's see which one is the score actually. Runs. Okay, so in 12.5 overs it is 131. Let's reload here. So actually it is 15 overs, 142 for 4. Obviously this data was extracted, so it is value when the data was extracted, and so we have currently this data. Let's refresh and see if it gets updated. You can see the data is now updated. So this is how we can visualize live data of current match.